But the first rule, if you cheat with your customers, they will cheat with you. If the product is not delivering value, you won't be successful. After 3 years, we closed this business and write off all these investments. Product that was working on another market and was the second biggest virtual PBX with all these facilities, for example, on Russian market, was absolutely useless for Polish market. So our marketing budget is around €500,000 each year. In mostly all the countries of Europe, it's forbidden to do cold calling in such way. Last year was for us significant. It was more than 35 million. Generally, 80% of customers, they buy it from agency.
What does your business, Denis, do? What is the business?
So generally, my business help companies to build the perfect customer care and customer experience with the usage of automation, with the usage of AI and different telecommunication technologies.
What is like RCS? What is that?
RCS, it's a new WhatsApp from mobile operators. So do you understand the difference between SMS and WhatsApp?
Yes.
With RCS, there is no difference. It's the technology that allow you from handset to handset without any kind of registration, applications and videos, media, pictures, whatever.
Okay, so it's an all-in-one platform to communicate with your customers via many channels. Oh.
No, so more or less, yes.
Okay, cool. How much revenue does the business do per year?
Last year was for us significant. It was more than 35 million.
How many employees?
Around 80. A bit more than 80 people in, I don't think, 8 different countries.
How many clients?
We have 2 types of customers. We have small, medium customers who use mostly simple services of telephony or SMS. And we have something around more than 2,000 of such customers. Okay. Yeah, so we did a successful acquisition a couple of years ago, and we bought something like 3/3 of our customer base in Germany. Yep. So it was our strategy to go from Eastern Europe to German markets. And to go there, we decided to find a target and buy a company who doesn't have super fancy, nice products like SMS platform or omnichannel AI platform, but has a lot of customers who do telecommunications, because mostly for whom doing it voice AI, only for those who already have phone numbers and telephony, and we pick up the target and made an acquisition 2 or 3 years ago. It finalized in the end of 2023. And now we have this amount of customers. Before that, we were working mostly with big customers in international sphere and in Eastern Europe.
Oh, interesting. But it's all under the big brand called Apifonica.
Now we operate 2 brands, particularly for Eastern Europe and international. We use brand Apifonica, and for DACH region, that is Germany, Austria, and some other countries, we use Tenios brand.
What's the name?
Tenios. Tenios. Yes, Tenios.
This one, yeah?
Yeah,
cool.
Like old-fashioned websites. The company is 25 years old.
This is what you bought?
Yes, this is what we bought.
How much did it cost you to buy it, or what's the deal structure?
It was less than 5 million euros.
Did you finance it?
Yes, of course.
Nice. When you say about the customers, I'm like, okay, so you're saying here you have 2,000 customers. This is like SMBs, I can imagine.
It's a mixture of SMBs, and for example, Ergo is one of our customers in Germany. It's well-known international brand. And within Apifonica brand, we work with such companies like Leroy Merlin, with Bank. I won't spell it properly. Bank Gospodarski Polska. So it's a kind of a central bank of Poland.
That's really good.
Yeah.
And I was just interested about pricing. So how much your biggest customers pay you, and how much is like the average payment per customer?
No, the biggest check can reach a couple of hundreds, €1,000.
Yeah.
And the smallest check starts from, if I remember right, our cheapest price is 5.75. €5.75. Yeah, it depends on the services. We have kind of 3 types of business lines: telecommunications, where we sell IP telephony numbers, a kind of
Also the
calling
software?
machine. Yeah. Everything is cloud based, so we don't do a kind of on-premise installations. Maybe in some exceptional cases,
Would
but
be interesting to talk about that. Maybe we could be a customer
yeah.
because we use that.
Sure.
Yeah, okay.
So we are in terms of Apifonica products, we are fully Google Cloud.
Okay.
Yeah, we are Google partner. You can also buy our services through Google Marketplace. We became a Google certified partner last year. So our services available with the Google partnership program, for example, for customers. Within 10 years, we are privately hosted. We are hosted in German data center. Yeah, but all our services, they are cloud-based.
Okay, so that's one. Telecommunication, that's one service?
That's one service.
Okay.
SMS business,
Okay.
that's the second service. And AI assistance.
What is that, the AI assistant?
Whether that, it's when, for example, someone is calling you and saying that, hi, I'm a virtual assistant of Reliable Bank. Do you remember that you have an overdue payment?
This thing.
Yeah.
Is it legal right now in Europe to do that? And what do you need to do to make it legal?
It's absolutely legal. There is a couple of regulations in European Union. So, but the most general, you never do not need to pretend to be a human being.
I don't need to pretend to be a human, but you need to explicitly say, "Hey, I'm like an AI."
Yes. You need to explicitly explain person that you are AI agent. Yeah, that you are artificial agent, and if you do call recording, and with AI you always do call recording, there is no chance to do it in any other way. You need to notify a person that the call will be recorded.
Is there a rule on how fast you need to say it?
Generally.
Because I'm thinking like you could be like doing a hook, like and then like doing some interesting hook, and then you could say it a little bit later, like this kind of.
So generally, there is no value in that, because if you want to, let's do a step back. Yeah, we want to build with our customers exceptional customer care. When we say exceptional, we doesn't mean super expensive. Yep, we mean that it should be optimal. Yep, but the first rule, if you cheat with your customers, they will cheat with you. That's why we never recommend, and we control that it won't happen this way, that this notification will sound not understandable.
No, I was thinking not understandable, but just like leading with some kind of interesting hook. For example, hey, no, let me tell you an example. So I'm an AI bot. You would be a customer. I like call you. Good day. Are you currently interested in getting like 5 times more customers through your website? And then you say, hey, I'm Nix. I'm an AI bot calling from XY company.
Look, it depends on the country, definitely. There is a general EU legislation that restricts some kind of actions. And there are a lot of local regulations also concerning this topic. The first question, why are you calling? Do you have a consent for a call?
And how is that? Like, by the way, how is
that?
So
generally, in mostly all the countries of Europe, it's forbidden to do cold calling in such way. So unsolicited communications, it's called. So you're not allowed generally to just cold call without a permission.
But generally it happens all the time. Right?
So we do not work with such
How do you check if they have it? Because they can say, we have it.
We request to show the customer intent for communications. If you are do lead generation on a Facebook, for example, we had a really interesting case. One of our customers, it was online school.
Okay.
They were heavily doing lead generation on a Facebook.
Yeah, exactly.
And there is a Facebook form. That show you the advert and ask, do you want to know more about that?
And if you sign up, you give
consensus. And if you press the button, you give a consent. Right? Even more. If you press the button and you didn't do anything with your contact form in Facebook, you will give a phone number if it's registered there as well.
Typically,
So what we were doing, we were receiving this, automatically grabbing the phone number and arranging a call not longer in 15 seconds after the person pressed the button, I would like to receive information.
And AI was calling.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, AI was calling saying that, hi, I am a virtual assistant of this school.
Nice.
Yeah. Did you just, did I get you right that you want to know more about education? And the main goal of this case was to qualify the bots. Because you know that in Facebook ads, something like if you do it very aggressively, you will get conversion, 1%, 2%, 3%, yeah, not more. So, and if you will lead all these requests to a call center, it will cost you a fortune.
If it's a lot of leads, right?
Yeah.
If it's like hundreds, right? And
if it's 10 leads, you
you
will not sell anything. Yeah, but generally, if you will find an instrument to diversify where are the bots and where are the real human beings very fast, yeah, and your sales process involves token of a human being, and you cannot sell without that.
Yeah.
So you can use such type of AI, for example, for a qualification, because it's instant. It can work simultaneously when you press the button. It can do the qualification, just a small check. Okay, of course, it can handle the whole more or less conversation, but usually human people are doing it better right now. So this is a pure legal case.
Cool.
When you receive the intent, you made the call, you told that you are artificial intelligence consultant. Did you just left a request? Are you really interested? 2-3 questions, not more. And if yes, direct redirection to a call center like you have here. Yeah. And they will work only with those who really press the button.
It's interesting. How much does it typically would be costly to a business to kind of do these things? Because I'm listening to you. It's kind of interesting. It's kind of cool. Like, what are some estimated costs to kind of implement this kind of strategy?
Generally, there are different approaches. So we work with several types of customers. Some customers do scripts by themselves. Yeah, they have a dialogue designers who register in our platform, and our platform is kind of look like Lego bricks. Mm-hmm. It has multiple voice recognitions. It has multiple engines of synthesis. It has AI connected modules like ChatGPT, for example, but legal for European usage because you are not liable to use American ChatGPT. Because if you work with humans, you will transmit the personal data from European Union to United States service. So that's why if you're using ChatGPT to process personal data, you need to be sure that your provider of the solution use, for example, Microsoft Azure deployment of OpenAI and do not transmit data outside of European Union. Yeah, so we spend a huge amount of time to build everything on a particular German service of Google. Yep, and even with OpenAI products, we do not take it from OpenAI US entity, but we buy it from the instance that is located on the Microsoft European service.
Interesting. Okay.
Yep. So generally, the cost, it can start from 10 euro cents per minute on a big volumes, but for example,
10 euro cents per minute.
Per minute. All included.
Let me give me a typical example, maybe. 1,000 leads, 1,000 phone calls. How much is that per month? And let's say 1,000 leads per month.
Okay, if you do just qualification, it will be 1 call, 1 minute.
1 call, 1 minute. So 1,000 times
100.
100.
100 euros.
That's not so much.
No, I was talking about volumes. Okay. No, but look, so generally we are open platform. Okay. So we are two types in one with AI. We are agency, so we can come and
customize things.
Tailor it, absolutely. And this is like a choice of 80% of the customers
really?
From our revenue. Yeah,
interesting. So it's not like self-serving.
So No. It's fully self-serving platform designed for professional dialogue designers. Okay. But we have these dialogue designers in-house.
When you say dialogue designers, are those people who think like, if then, what, say, this thing? What do you mean when you say dialogue?
No, more or less something like that. Okay. Something like
scripting?
That.
It's like sales
like
scripting.
Yeah, but it looks like a bricks, but it's a trick that it can be bricks stated one by one, or it can be AI bricks, like for FAQ, when you do not expect what person will ask you. Yep, it will be one brick that is connected with database, and it can receive the question, go to database, check the answer this question, and most important, so ChatGPT can do that. But the most important that there is no economical sense in that. Yep. So you are doing a support to sell something or to solve the issue, and we also do it in the way that this kind of a brick lead to one of the business topics. Like if someone is asking, what is your business hours? And what are the addresses of the offices? Okay, we can consult, but what then? The goal is after that to say, do you want to buy something? Why are you asking? Yep, and that's how we build this brick. We train it to solve particular issues. And when we change our purchasing intent or service intent, we take out from this brick the conversation and handle it to consequent scenario. Like covered with all the business metrics. But generally, so you can register on the platform by yourself if you are well trained enough, and it will cost you something like 50 euros a month, if I remember right, as a subscription. But the communication will cost you 40 cents per minute without no commitment.
Yeah, it's interesting. I really like it. So, what will be your kind of best advice or things that have helped you to go from 0 to in 10 years to 30+ million per year with a company?
Find disruption.
Find disruption. What do you mean by that?
Disruption. So it's a kind of a gap in. No, we don't work with B2C, and I for 25 years have never. No, okay. I started my career in maybe more or less B2C business. Yeah, but it was telecommunications still. Yep. So, but for remaining 20+ years, I was working for B2B technological B2B companies. Yep. And the product is essential. Always, if you have a shitty product that doesn't solve the issue of the customer, you can have whatever good sales machine or marketing machine. You can generate leads cheap. You can do super convertive sales processes. But if in the end the product is not delivering value to the customer, you won't be successful. Yep. So we spend a huge amount of investments to find this niche in all three verticals that we are doing. So, and the setup that we have right now, it's not the setup that we started. When we started our business in Europe, when I started it, the first setup was virtual PBX. Yep.
And for people who do not know what PBX is?
Virtual PBX, it's a virtual telephone system. Like with IVRs, with lines, if you want to reach this call, press 1 and all that stuff. Fully from cloud, with no need of purchasing anything. Yep. So, and it was tailored for small and medium businesses with a customer call, like combination of CRM, telephony, and all at one place. Yep. So after 3 years, we closed this business and write off all these investments. Yeah, it was within this legal entity, Smartel Plus, but with a different brand. It was called Zynga, and we picked up Poland as a test market. We set up a big office in Krakow. Yep. Before that we spent a lot of money for fancy analysts and consultants, and they built a matrix of all European markets. They define that these markets are not mature. They don't need this. Don't need to have this technology. These markets are super mature, and you will suck with your kind of a technology. And these markets are the beautiful. Yeah, like they have a big amount of population, growth of e-commerce, etc., etc., etc. And they picked up Poland. Yep. So we also did a couple of tests for Poland. Yep. But when we started operations in Poland, we found out that, for example, in more Eastern markets, it's not okay to lose a call from the customer. Everyone compete for these calls. And if you are losing a call from a customer, it means you are a loser. Yep, you spend huge amount of marketing, you spend huge amount of lead generation. Yep, and then if your call center or your sales are fucking up calls, it means that you are just throwing away money. Yep, and your second competitor will pick up this call because everything is available and you have a multiple choices for everything. Yep, this is how it works. No, in many countries. Yeah, but in Poland, we faced a kind of a situation when we came on the market and say, look, losing the phone calls is not good. We have a solution that help you. We had a callback widget, on the website that was pushing to leave your number, we will call you back. And then a kind of a telephone system that were distributing the calls. But we starting to hear in 90% cases, okay, if I didn't pick up, they will call back second time. And all our sales strategy, all our marketing, all our everything was tailored for this need not to lose the calls. And it happened that this need is not obvious for many European markets, like we face the same in Germany. So if you try to sell something like high convertive for service level, for increase of service level, you hear back the rejection. No, okay, if I will miss the call, they will call back. So, if they want to buy something, no. I was busy. Come next day.
And these are typically SMBs, I can imagine, right?
Yeah.
Enterprise clients, I don't think they're like...
Yeah, and that's why we started to redesign the product. We started to redesign the way how we promote this product. But the main issue that there was no such a disruption on the market. There was
so the market was not looking for this type of solution. That's what you mean, right? Okay.
And some neighbor markets, they were looking for such solutions. But we decided to go to Poland. We did a lot of localization with the Polish language, hiring Polish-speaking team.
Did that help, by the way?
No.
If you look back?
No, it didn't help because the product was not given value. They just didn't have this amount of pain in their businesses. So we get a lot of registrations and people were saying, yes, I need call back on the website. How many customers will it give it to me? If you have no visitors on the website, I think it won't give you any new one. This callback widget.
Yeah.
And they were thinking that this is a magical button will increase the visitors somehow to the website. And all these 20 visitors that were visiting the website will start calling. No, it's not how business works. But we built everything except of SMB. This was our kind of theory. And we received reasonable amount of enterprise inquiries, but we were not able to serve them.
Because the product was not there.
Because of the processes, because of the product. No, and product was tailored for SMBs mostly. And that showed us that the product that was working on another market and was the second biggest virtual PBX with all these facilities, for example, on Russian market, was absolutely useless for Polish market. And we stopped and rebuilt completely the product for enterprise customers. We made a lot of communications with the customers. We took customers who are going from Ukraine to international market, Russia, Uzbekistan, Kazakhstan, and even Latvia and Lithuania, and started to understand, to find out what problems do they face when they go from their own market to international environment. And we started to rearrange the product to handle, for example, numbers from multiple locations within one communication flows. To adjust the time zones for IVRs, like very, very simple stuff. If you have an IVR on a kind of that say that, oh, this is not our working hour, it means then in different countries with different time zones, it will be different working hours. And you need to set up it in the product so it will work properly. Okay. So we fully redesigned our telephone products and SMS also products, and now I think we're quite successful with that.
I think when you said about interviewing and getting to know the customers' problems, I am right now reading a book that is called The Mom Test. And it is a book about how to ask good questions to potential customers to learn about are you trying to solve the right problem? And I read the book, and I'm like, exactly, that's for me. Because, for example, I show you like our product, and I ask you, how do you like the product? That is a bad question. A much better question would be, hey, do not show the product, do not talk about the product, do not say you have a product, but just like ask, how do you currently do X, Y, and Z? Okay, what are maybe the issues while you do that? Have you looked for some solutions that solve this? If they haven't, ask them why, and they maybe will say, "Yeah, I just don't care. It's not, necessary for me." And that's a cool thing you mentioned about this kind of interviewing the customer. What came to mind is you said a lot of these kind of pivots. So you did this, didn't work, switch markets, invest more, develop the product. But how could you finance it? How did you because software developers are expensive guys.
No, so it's rather simple answer. In my previous life, we did with my partners the first in the history of let's call it this territory management buyout of telecommunication company. Yep, it's when managers. I was one of the managers of a rather big telecommunication company, and something like I think 15 years ago we did or 10 years ago we did a management buyout of the company from ex-founders, and then we sold this company. We grew it up. We became the first player on the market of virtual PBX, of telecom platforms. Yep, and we sold it to the biggest telecom mobile operator. And that's how we raised the capital.
So you had money, you had money to burn.
Yep, we had money to burn. No, and also we found a couple of angels, private investors who believed in our project.
Okay, cool. What have you learned to be really good ways of getting enterprise clients? I mean, marketing-wise, sales tactic-wise, what have you seen to be working, let's say, the Eastern European market to get kind of customers?
No, there is a different, absolutely different approach between, for example, Poland and Germany.
Okay.
So we have absolutely different sources of customers and the way how we promote our products in these two countries. And when we were purchasing a German company, we thought that we are cool guys. We are super successful in Poland with so AI and voice bots, it's our main focus of promotion, because it's interesting services, and just as owner of the business, the multiples of capitalization to SMS applies to EBITDA, and it's from 4 to 8. Yep, and multiples.
Can you elaborate on this?
No, so I mean that if you do SMS business, just pure SMS business, if you would like to sell this business, how much?
When you say SMS business, you mean like providing a service to businesses that send SMS?
Yes, SMS services, It depends on what are your customers, what is your product, what is your market share, but your multiples will vary from 4 to 8 to EBITDA.
You mean EBITDA?
Yeah. To EBITDA. So it means that if you earn on SMS, I don't know, 20 million, and as we discussed, the EBITDA margin will be around 20. It's very optimistic. So it will be how much? 6. In EBITDA, and it's too optimistic, I would say, because just gross margin is less. So it will be maybe around 10. So it will be 3. So the cost of your asset will be 12 million euros in a worst case, and maybe 20 million euros in a good case. But if you are selling a voice bot or AI assistant or something like this AI related, your multiples will apply to revenue.
Not to markup.
Not to EBITDA.
Okay.
And these multiples will go from 8 to eternity.
So why do you think so? Why is that?
Oh, because it's a good question. Why that? Because people believe in AI.
Okay.
It's the first point. The second point that AI is growing. Generally, we see absolutely a different situation on the market each year. When we first went to a German call center world event, the biggest event in Germany, in Berlin, about call center and customer care experience. 4 years ago, it was only 3 providers. Only 3 people were mentioning about voice bots. It was us, who bought this company 10 years. It was Parloa, the biggest German unicorn in this area, and Cognigy. Cognigy, it's a telephony system. Really nice guys who also do AI assistants. Yep. This year, no, we always take part with a booth there to present our products, to meet customers. This year, I think there were not a single booth without AI. So, and if 3-4 years ago everybody was saying, try it, this is new technology, this is how it works. Now everybody's saying that, showcasing how they already implemented with their customers. Yep, and what are the benefits? What are the problems? Ethical problems, not ethical problems. So the market is changing very rapidly, and it means that within the SMS business, so if you already have taken a market share, you won't grow anymore. It's not such a growing market. It have very stable CAGR. No, maybe if you are just newcomer to the market, you can change something. There are some verticals inside of the market that are not so penetrated right now, but it's not like AI.
Yeah. What about what do you think about WhatsApp marketing? Like sending messages on WhatsApp. I know it's like tricky to do it on bulk, but if you use the the WhatsApp API, you can pay for it, and then it's not so many times you get banned. Or what do you know about this stuff?
No, so generally, unless couple of months ago, it was kind of semi-legal, let's call it this way. Okay. Yep. So WhatsApp were preventing promotion via WhatsApp. Now it's becoming open, and I think that it's a new way. But there is a lot of problems business-wise. So we're talking always about technology, and there are a lot of fancy talks about technology, but there is a business environment. Okay. Like when you're doing SMS marketing, how do you do that?
You get the people's numbers, and then you send a message.
What do you send?
Probably a promotional code with website link, and then with a promo to kind of track the sales.
Yep. So generally you send text.
Yeah, text.
Yeah. Yep. And the whole infrastructure is you send text with a link, you press the link, and you go to a landing page where all your metrics is being blah, 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 blah. With RCS is the same like WhatsApp,
Okay.
More or less in terms of customer experience. You need to have absolutely different content.
You mean like videos, images?
No, yes. What for should you use WhatsApp to send messages, text messages? No, continue to send it via SMS. It's cheaper.
It's cheaper.
It's cheaper. It's much more cheaper. It's the first point. The second point, there will be no difference in user experience if you will start to send text messages via WhatsApp.
Yeah, okay.
So, no reason, yeah?
Okay.
So, it means that WhatsApp gives you no new possibilities, like RCS as well, yeah? It gives you interactional possibilities. You are not just sending a promotional message, you can send no kind of communication.
Okay.
Yep, you can send a bot, sales bot or whatever, with media inside of that. Mm-hmm. But do you have this media? I guess you have, because you have all these fancy cameras, production block, post-production block. But imagine your customer. Do they have it?
They could use like an image maybe of the promo,
and that's a question, yeah? So
okay.
First is that they do not have a content. Second, market is not educated well to do these conversational chains. Yep, there are not a lot of instruments that can help you to monitor, track, and calculate all you calculate with SMS marketing right now. All these site trackers, you do not understand how many. No, so it's difficult and it's a bit different.
Okay,
that's why it's a bit slowing down this type of promotion.
Can you do it, by the way? Can you like send 100,000 WhatsApp messages to your list, let's say, of phone numbers?
We didn't try yet. When we will, I will give you an update.
Because I think it's tricky. I check. Okay, like hundreds of messages, I think it's no problem. But like, I think when you go into the thousands, it could be.
It's a good question, and I think no one can answer it right now. Yep. If you will start sending hundreds of messages via SMS, you also will have problems. If yes, if they are spam, you will be blocked.
No, if it's spam.
Yep. If it's not spam and it's more or less kind of from trusted alpha name. Yep. Yeah. And you are are not doing it for the first time, usually it goes smooth.
Okay.
Yeah, but if you will have a kind of how's it called claims
Yeah.
to a mobile operator, for example,
Yeah.
you will be just blocked, and that's it. The same like with WhatsApp. If you will have claims, you will be blocked.
You mean like unrealistic claims in the text or in the message in the
Yeah,
content?
yeah.
Okay.
So you send an SMS, you send WhatsApp, whatever.
Yeah.
Yep, you have a right to claim.
Yeah.
In WhatsApp, it's much more simpler to claim because you can press it in the message. Yep.
You mean okay?
Yeah, these claims.
It's different,
yeah.
right? Okay.
Yeah. But in SMS, if you receive an SMS, to make a claim, you need to call a waiting line of a mobile operator. So
okay.
Yeah.
As you're selling B2B software.
Yep.
What have you seen in the last, let's say, 2-1, right now? What could be the best thing you could advise to somebody who also has a B2B service or software to kind of what to do in marketing that has worked good for you? What is that channel? I mean, like specifically channels, and maybe what kind of promotions have you done to be good kind of lead generation or client generation?
Mm-hmm. No, so generally, it may be not very easy evaluable, but the most effective channel for us is buying a company with existing database and upsell. So it depends on what are the amount of money you plan to spend on marketing. So our marketing budget is around €500,000 each year.
$500,000.
Yep. So and the efficiency of this budget is much low than purchasing a company and doing upsell within this company, because you already have relations, and you can skip all this like introductory phase. And this is our experience, that upsell of existing base is something that doesn't cost you almost anything except of content, except of a good pitch, and making a good product.
Can I ask you something challenging? Like you said, you have like a marketing budget, but I can imagine your LTV per customer is really high, like a lifetime value per customer. I can imagine it's in the tens of thousands. I can imagine.
More or less, yep.
Yeah, and then I would imagine you could be spending 1,000 to 5,000 CAC, like customer acquisition cost per customer. And I'm just like curious about why you're capping the spend, because why don't you be more aggressive on that?
No, like everybody, we have some limitations on the budget as well. So because we are privately funded, so we always try to find the balance between amount of money spent, burned, and the outcome. And within our business, the main problem is a sales cycle. The sales cycle is around from 3 to 12 months. So it means that
also for SMBs?
No, for SMBs, no. For SMBs, it's shorter. Okay, for SMBs, it's 3 months. But we consider SMBs, for example, I don't know, we have different prices in different countries. But in Germany, SMB for us, it's €2,000 monthly.
Oh, okay. That's a mid-size pricing, I think.
Yep.
Right?
I would say this way. Yep. So we sell in packages, and for example, the smallest package for Voidbot starts in Germany from €2,000.
Okay.
In Poland, it's cheaper. But it's still not €50. Yep. And for them, it's also from 3 to 6 months to onboard them. Yep, and there is a dilemma that you're spending right now, and you are not super sure that how much you spend will convert definitely in 3 to 6 months to this amount of the customers. And there is a limitation of the market as well.
Have you tried like paid ads?
Oh, yeah, sure. We use paid ads, we use LinkedIn ads, we use even Facebook ads, we use a lot of content marketing, we use events, we use...
Which of the paid ad channels have worked the best in your experience?
LinkedIn and Google.
LinkedIn and Google.
Yeah. For our case, because we are B2B mostly focused.
Interesting. Quick question about the headquarters. Like you have like multiple headquarters in different countries. Like why are you doing that? Is it like what's the strategic reason for that?
No, it's more or less historically when we were starting up the business, we were foreigners. Who wanted to start business in Europe, and Estonia appeared to us the most friendly one. So that's why we set up the main headquarters in Estonia. We are about telecommunications, for example. We were considering between Latvia, Estonia, Netherlands, and Netherlands.
Yeah.
3 locations. Yep, they were, according to our strategy, beneficial for us. We rejected Netherlands because of the salary level and the cost of living simultaneously. Latvia and Estonia were on in our short list. Yep, and generally Estonia even appealed to us more, than Latvia. That's why we decided to go there. And one of the maybe final reasons was about that we started with telecommunications. And in Estonia, the process of registering the license is a kind of you just set up an IP operator and inform the government officials. Then you just go to the website and buy numbers. Telephone numbers.
And in Latvia, how was it?
Yeah, and in Latvia, you need to have. I'm not sure how it's right now, because we don't have license in Latvia. But in Latvia, you need to register. You need to do some kind of paperwork, and at that period of time, there were also company tax in Latvia.
It's
10
like
years ago.
Corporate things slow down stuff. That's like a perfect example is Dubai. Like there's no stuff, you just rock and roll.
You won't have so much trust. And also Estonia 10
really?
years ago was a kind of the origin of Skype, the mother of
there's a tech company.
northern tech companies.
Yeah.
That's why we set up company in Estonia, but we set up simultaneously the daughter company in Latvia, and we had the most part of employees in the early beginning in Latvia. All technical people, managerial people, and production office, because we never planned to sell anything in Baltic regions.
Why not? It's like a small market.
I have heard on one of your podcasts, it was about AI and Baltic states, that it's small market. Before the end of last year, I would say recognition, not even speech recognition, speech synthesis was not working properly with Latvian language.
Yeah, now it's better.
Now, starting from the end of the last year, first, what is kind of a AI agent, voice agent? It's not only synthesis and recognition. Synthesis and recognition is something like 10%.
What does that mean?
Synthesis, it's when I do voice from text.
Okay.
So how bots work? They work all with text. They don't work with voice, more or less, in the heart of the engine. So when we talk to a bot, he listens what you are talking, record it,
in a text format for himself,
send it and transfer into text. It's called speech to text.
Okay.
Usually there are a lot of speech to text engines: Google, Microsoft, local ones, etc. And there is a backwards process when you put text to a machine and it synthesizes. It makes voice.
Okay.
So before the end of the last year, these two elements, they are crucial for us, for human beings, to how bot understand what we say and how bot says it to us. So they were working shitty. Let's call it this way. Latvian language was even worse than mine. Now
let's imagine, like, I want to do like a thought experiments. So you're in the telecommunication, a niche, I would say enterprise business, B2B. But what would you do if, let's say, you now don't have the business, you don't have connections, you don't have previous, like clients, like 0 clients, but you had to start a new business in, let's say, B2B. It can be a different niche. What business would you start? And the goal of the business is to have something that can be like a 10+ million per year company as soon as possible. What business would you start and
in
why?
revenue or in valuation? It's a big difference.
Let's say 1 million profit per year. Profit. It needs to generate at least profit. 1 million profit per year.
I don't know. I'm not doing such type of businesses. I'm out of that. So,
but if you had to start a new business, what business do you think could be a good business to start right now in this space, or maybe different spaces, what you have seen?
Business that could be sold in 5 years or evaluated at 10+. So but you need to target something like 100. Because you are targeting 10+, it means that it's really difficult to sell such type of a business to anybody. You need to understand whom you are selling. So first, what for do you want to what I would do, I would
Okay.
sit and I would start to think, what do I want to do? Do I want to have a business that giving me a kind of earnouts on a stable flow, no, like dividends or profit that I can withdraw?
Okay.
Or I want to build a business that I will sell to somebody in 5-10 years. This is main crucial question.
Okay.
Yep. And if you're type of entrepreneur that want to make a stable, profitable business that will give you a kind of a stable inflow of cash, like, I don't know, agency type business or production type of a business, or I don't know, self-employed type of a business, it's
Or
one.
software business. I know like many founders who like
maybe
super highly profitable.
Maybe, yep. But I'm not kind of a guy of this type. Yep. I won't say you what should you do.
Okay.
For such type of a business. I tried in my life to do that. I failed with that. I understood that it's not my way. Yep. If you want to build a business that you will sell to somebody and you do not have connections, experience, understanding of the market, I think you also won't be successful. Yeah, but how will you build a business to sell to somebody in 10 years? You need to more or less at least believe that this technology, this industry, this vertical will be in favor in 5 to 10 years. And on the market, nobody or not a lot of people will do it by themselves.
And what do you see? Where do you see opportunities like that?
Maybe I would suggest, if you're a more or less young person, to go and to employ to some kind of a fast-growing, fast-paced company or to consultants. No, so I would maybe repeat my way as I did it. Yeah, so I went to KPMG in the beginning of my career. Then I went to technological company, worked there, gained experience. Went to a smaller technological company, made a management buyout. Then sold this company, developed it, sold it to the major player on the market, and in parallel set up a new business on new territory with more or less the same technology and the same customer base. Made a couple of mistakes, and after something like 10 years of experiments, found out this, as I consider right now, working module. Yeah, so this maybe for young guys will be such type of advice. Yeah, but I'm not the guy who is doing like business from the scratch, operational, successful from the first year. In my experience, I have never seen such businesses. Usually when you go to kind of a tech crunch and see a unicorn, that they say that, oh, we were founded a couple of years ago, but then you look on the background of the founders and see that they have spent something like, I don't know, 20 years in Google, and then they just spin off from Google.
Many times like that.
And in my opinion, it's the most reasonable that you go within market leader, gain some kind of expertise within this market leader, and then you start to find kind of niches or segments or areas where you see that there is a vacuum or will appear a vacuum in some kind of period of time, and then you set up a kind of a business or multiple businesses that should run on a track of 3 to 5 years. But you need to understand who will buy it then, or potentially who can buy it then, So where will you take money to run this business that it will be noticeable? You do not need to be the first market on the first player on the market, because if you're a first it's a bit difficult to sell such a company, So, but if you're kind of in position when there is a first market player, and there are a couple of other players who want to enter this niche, and you have a nice technology proven with something like 1 to 2 million ARR that proves that your technology is working and you can sell to another companies, that would be a great advice. And
I mean, many like tech businesses actually like come up from this service type of business situation. Like Loom also was an agency. Like many businesses like this are actually like agencies, and then they can transition. Like Typeform also was an agency. Like they kind of spin off to this kind of angle. It's the same thing for me actually. Like the same thing, because we also want to kind of have a more I guess recurring, more valuable thing, which is not so like an agency, because it's super. Like I speak with agency owners all the time. Like
It's very tough business.
it's tough business because the customers are not the kind of the loyalty is not like that. Either you do like two things. I got this from like Anton, who's the owner of ScandiWeb. So either you do things, you do like enterprise sales, like high end, like 10 to 30K per month retainers with whole bunch of services, and you charge by the hour, or you do super cheap. And a good example in Latvia is actually Latvia's telephones, Latvia's Talruns. There's a company in Latvia that sells digital marketing services for like 10 to 30 euros a month. It's super, like everything is templatized, mass market, everybody. And then you can have and they do like 3.5 million, I think, per year. German-owned company in Latvia. Kind of those two verticals. What I was interested in talking about is, like for businesses in this B2B software space, how to price your services, because I can imagine it's such a tough thing to price, because you need to kind of price it at this like 5 to 20,000 per year contracts, and like how do you justify it? Because then at the same time you have some customers who maybe you charge them like 500 per month. And then I'm just curious, how do you price it? What's your thinking behind it? And what you could share for me or other people could be valuable.
No, it's a real pain in the ass. Pricing, it's crucial and essential. You're absolutely right. Yep. So we tried different models, and we came to the last model with the experience. So I can show you it on experience. Yep. An example. So we started at the early beginning of a voice bot. Yep. For I think telecom services, everything more or less clear.
Okay.
They're paid by consumption.
Yeah.
This is already well designed market. Difficult to bring new type of price model there.
Yeah.
So, and it is as it is. Yep, you have a setup and then you pay per consumption. With AI assistants, there are different types of monetization. Yep, and for example, we simultaneously have, I think, 3 approaches for monetization. First, we structured and tried to classify different types of the customers we have.
Okay.
And we understood that, for example, small and medium customers, really small customers, they are not good for the company to work with them directly. They request a lot of time. The expectations is much higher than expectations of enterprise customers, just because they do not have a mass volume customer care. For them, each customer is so important that they want a voice bot, if they are selling, to sell better than a human being, if they do support, to support better than a human being, but they don't have well-structured procedures, they don't have materials, etc., etc. They pluses and they minuses. Yep, when you are going to a barber shop, it's fully personal approach. Yep. Yeah. They don't have shabloons. Sometimes they cannot say even exact price when you do something new. Yeah, but you believe to this person because it's a personal approach. Yeah.
Okay.
And when these guys, they want to have, for example, a voice bot that will receive a calls. Yep. They want that voice bot will know everything they know and answer all the questions they can answer. And if they don't know how to answer the question, voice bot should invent something that they don't know. Okay. In reality, it doesn't work. Yeah. So not a single AI, not a single technology cannot work without structure, without procedures, without some kind of a formalization. Yep. And that's kind of a tricky stuff.
Okay.
And what we decided that, for example, for these micro businesses, we work via partnerships.
What do you mean by partnerships?
Partnerships. No, for example, in a barbershop, there is in barbershop business there is a well-known brand algo.
Okay.
It's a kind of system that mini CRM for barbershops.
Okay.
Yep. And for example, we do not provide SMS services to barbershop, but we provide SMS services to Altegio, and Altegio providing the same SMS services to all barbershops.
Okay.
Yep. Okay. Now we're trying to in Poland we are doing a table booking system. Yep. So it's a simple bot that can book a table. But if we will go to each small restaurant with, I don't know, 5 to 10 tables. And we'll say that, look, guys, do you want to have a voice bot? Yep. They will ask how much it costs. We will tell them that 10 cents per minute, but we will need to integrate it with the CRM, with the procedures, etc., etc., etc. The implementation of a voice bot will be rather expensive for them. Yep. So what did we do in Poland, for example? We integrated with the service Dotykachka. It's called. Yep. It's a kind of airkeeper or POS terminals for restaurants. They have access to all the tables. They know the bookings for all the tables already. Yep. And we do not need to do multiple integrations. We did standardized product where you just can choose kind of the voice of this assistant. Yep. And somehow tune the working hours.
So the takeaway is like look at, try to find strategic partners who have the customers who need what you have and just find them. But how do you price it for the enterprise? Like what's the difference?
In such case, this one voice bot can cost 50 euros a month or 100 euros a month. So this is a price for such type of a voice bot on Polish market. Yep. But we do not sell it directly. Yep? We sell it via the partnership and we get, I don't know, 1,000 customers through one partner, and it gives us desired money.
But when you say you have, because as I understand, so you have the platform which is available, everybody self-serving, and then you some enterprise customers can you can tailor it to them. Like how physically can you tailor the platform to one specific customer based on their needs? How does that work?
No, so as I've mentioned, the platform is a place where professional dialogue designers works.
Okay.
So the platform by its own doesn't solve the problem.
Okay.
To solve the problem, you need to build up a dialogue.
Okay.
A kind of structure of a dialogue.
Okay.
And apply it, connect it with telecommunication, connect it with CRM.
Okay.
Let's imagine a simple case.
Yeah.
You want to have a payment reminder.
Okay, to customers.
To customers.
Okay.
So what do you need to remind about the payment?
What do you need? You need to know the date, the amount, the I
Name.
guess the service they're buying. What's the payment about?
No, kind of 5-6 variables.
Yeah.
Yep. And you need to be ready to tell this to a person. But before that, you need to be sure that the person is ready to talk with you, then that the person is the right person with whom you are talking. Yeah. So you need to at least ask, hi, John, is it you? Yes. And receive a no, it's not me. Then notify a person that he has a debt or outstanding payment. Then ask, are you going to pay that? Do you have some problems? And if you have offers like reschedule or break it in 3 installments, etc., you need to communicate it. So it means that somebody need to connect person's infrastructure like CRM to extract data from CRM into scenario, put this data in right places, etc., etc., etc. It can be done by in-house dialogue designer of the customer, but he need to be trained for working with our platform. If he want to do it on other platform, I don't know, on Google Dialogflow. He need to be trained to do it on Google Dialogflow, to connect it with telecommunication, etc., etc., etc. We also have our dialogue designers.
As a service provider.
As a service provider. So we are 2 in 1. We are still agency. As you
How
have
big
mentioned.
Is that agency part of your business?
No. So generally 80% of customers, they buy it from agency. But as an agency, for example, pure agency, and if you're a pure agency and not a platform owner, you earn one time when you do the work.
Agency work,
but we are platform. That's why we charge not so much for the work of agency. More or less, we cover our costs of having these people. But we charge when the people use the voice bot.
Use the platform.
And we try different approaches. When we just told that we charge you for setup of the voice bot and then you pay by consumption. We faced in Poland, especially, we faced the case where people were paying for the voice bot and then not using it. They paid, they tried, something went wrong or they were not super happy and they stopped paying us for the voice bot.
Okay.
Yep.
What's the solution? What did you do?
We did the packages and year contracts.
Yearly
So now
contracts
we
and
have a
packages.
kind of 5 packages starting from 2,000 euro with I think 7 or 10,000 minutes. I don't
Okay,
remember.
okay,
That
okay.
a license. Yeah, we give a license to the platform for 1
Okay.
year that can process not more than x thousand of minutes during a month.
Right.
Yep, and we charge either monthly or if you pay in advance for a year, we give a discount.
So
Yep.
the lesson was, hey, don't try to sell yearly contracts with more money upfront to kind of make them stickier, plus
Yep.
longer commitment. So they're like,
Yep. And also, no, there is a consequences. Yep. If we sell this way, we also include the support. Yep, in this contract, if you want to change something.
But you
in
mean
the
support?
voice
That's like a typical support, right? Like not like a dedicated agent. It's not like a manager, right?
It's manager.
Dedicated. So
Yeah,
they can
it's a
just call.
dedicated manager.
Interesting.
No, because the smallest amount is 24,000 a year.
So it's okay.
2 monthly.
Okay.
It's 2 monthly.
Okay, then it's big.
If you
contracts.
consider that it is expensive, let's do a kind of a simple check. What is the average salary of a call center agent, even in Latvia?
I would say 1.4 before tax. So like I think 2K, 2
more or
2K.
less with social tax
Yeah,
and
2K.
2K.
So 24.
Plus vacation, 21 days, in a month.
And they're not there.
But you pay for that.
Yeah, you pay.
Then supervisor, call center software, office premises, computer, heating, electricity, etc., 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 and supervisor as well. Yep, it's around 30%. So the average cost is 2.6 thousand euro in the end for the employer. And now imagine that you have a call center of 10 people. Yep. So it means that on a monthly basis, you pay something like 30K. In the year, 360,000. Yep. And what do we suggest? We suggest to switch the calls from the human beings to a bot. Yep. So if we will take this particular example where there are 10 agents, usually 10 agents should process each of them around 4,000 minutes a month.
How much is that per day?
It's calculated like 30 minutes in 1 hour. 30 minutes in 1 hour, 8 hours, 22 days.
4 hours per day.
Yeah.
That's very high.
It's aggressive. If it's not so, it will be even less. Economics will work better. So it means that the average cost of 1 minute will be, we remember 2,600 is the salary divided by 4,000 minutes. If you think the 30 minutes is too high, and if it's 15 minutes, it will be even less. So it's
I guess it depends on the business. If it's like a bank, then maybe it's higher. If it's like an outbound sales team, then it's less.
I would say that 30 minutes, it's high even for the bank.
Yeah, it's high.
Because you have peak hours, off-peak hours, and for the voice bot you don't have.
Filling out CRM, like things.
Yeah. So it means that if you will compare economics, I have mentioned that 10 euro cents is a kind of a price for big volume and 40 euro cents without commitment. It's still cheaper than a human being, even in Latvia. In Germany, you can believe that the salary is 2 times higher. And there, this problem is more kind of straightforward.
But the good thing is, it doesn't change the pricing for the service. If it's in Germany or Latvia, it doesn't change, right? Let's do something quick stuff.
Super.
Let's talk about what's your situation? Family? I see you're married.
Yep, I am.
Kids? No kids?
3 kids.
3 kids?
2 dogs.
2 dogs.
Yeah.
What kind of dogs?
Corgi.
Corgi.
Yellow.
Small dogs or big ones?
Like, I don't know. 70 kilos and 30 kilos. I know. 17 and 13.
Oh, those are big dogs.
Corgi. It's
my small dog is like 9, I think, like 9K.
Oh, it's a problem because when we travel, we are not allowed to take them on board. We need to send them via luggage.
Yeah.
That's why we usually travel by car.
Yeah. Oh, then days. What kind of sports do you do?
No, mostly just gym.
Gym. Okay. How many times per week?
3.
Let's go. You live in Latvia, or where do you live?
No, I live in Latvia.
Okay, you live in Latvia.
But I spend a lot of time out of Latvia in places where we have offices.
Got
So
it.
I spend a lot of time in Poland and Germany.
Okay.
But my main spot is Latvia.
Okay. If I would travel from, let's say, a different country to you, what fun activities would we do? Where would you take me? It can be either of those countries. It doesn't need to be Latvia. Where would you take me? What we would do and why?
No, generally, if you will come to me in Latvia,
Yeah.
I will take you to two places.
Okay.
My beloved one.
Okay.
It's Thesis.
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 Thesis. Okay.
And
it's
we
a
will
city.
do some kind of rafting.
Okay.
Maybe on the plots or with kayaking.
Okay.
Then we will do some kind of hiking there.
Okay. It's like okay.
Beautiful natural paths. And the second stuff is barefoot trail. Barefoot trail. There is a special place here. I think not far from Tukums.
Okay.
Yep, where they have a barefoot trail.
I know that
Barefoot
place.
trail, you know?
I have done it. It was also some spikes things, like a lot of...
Yeah. You go through the river. You go through cow shit as well.
Yeah, it's a lot of stuff.
Strange. You have spikes, and then you have a barefoot spa when they give you jars with hot water with some herbs. It's very, I think, national and very interesting stuff.
I think, do you believe the things that they say about the feet, that like all of your organs are connected? If your feet hurts this place, this is this organ. What do you think about that? I think it's like weird.
It's weird, but I think that to some extent it represents the reality.
Yeah, really?
Yeah.
It's interesting.
Do you use yoga?
No.
I have practiced a couple of times. I'm not a fan of yoga. My wife is mostly doing that. But she invited me to a couple of rituals, let's call it this way.
Okay.
It was not like spiritual. It was more for a kind of a sport.
Okay.
But you feel different after that. So it means that after these exercises, you feel more calm. Yep, you think in a bit different pattern. I didn't understand, do I like it or not? Yep, how do I change the way I am thinking? But generally, definitely our body is connected, and our areas on hands and on the feet, they represent somehow our mood and activity.
Yesterday I saw a video about how to rest, and I really liked it, because the idea was we finish our work, we finish our gym, we go home and rest, but what we're doing is like scrolling phone, watching TV. I guess, and that is like not rest. And rest, one of the things he said, what is rest is what you said, just like yoga, no phone, just yourself, your thoughts, maybe like your body, feeling the body.
And there is a use case about Nike. Yep, when they went to Japan, they were not successful because they were saying that do fitness, because during fitness you will get rid of thoughts about your job. And for Japanese, it's like a death to stop thinking about their responsibility towards the employer.
Okay.
Yep, and they absolutely redesigned the whole promotion, because we Europeans, we do sport to get rid of our job routines. Yep, and for Japanese, it's not common. They don't feel comfortable. They cannot relax if they forgot about their job. Yeah.
This is, I guess, this is also where you like scaling outside of countries, just like you said, like the German market, completely different than Poland market, like the values, how they, like all of this stuff is super like different.
Absolutely.
Like super different. What has been a cool, inspirational, or useful book about business, which you would recommend to anybody who's a new entrepreneur or somebody existing business owner?
I don't remember how the book name in English, but it was Rich Daddy, Poor Daddy.
Ah, yes, Robert Kiyosaki.
Yeah. I read it in the my early student's life. Yep, and this is a kind of Bible. How you need to organize your business and your life. Yeah.
It's a funny story. I remember I was running from Riga to Valmiera in this like night race, which is like super long. You're like the 100-kilometer race. And I was like, I'm gonna do like 3 books in the race, because like it's like it took me like 15 hours to finish it. So I was also listening to that book specifically. And after like 40 kilometers, you know, in this race, there's no like legit toilets. There's like maybe 2 spots with some toilets, but when you run so long, shit can happen. Like It just comes, and you need to react.
Kad tu esi laukos,
Right? It's just
you can do whatever you want.
and I so really remember, like, I was listening to that book, and I got myself in a bad situation. I was listening to him, just talking. Right? Just okay.
No, maybe I wouldn't say that this book is good to read when you are 40-something plus. Maybe either if you will find a lot of new stuff at this age, I think you would be disappointed. But when you're in your students here, or when you are starting the business, you should already have read that.
I think it's good principles. I also
they
think.
were simple, laid off in this book without any kind of huge amount of very wise words.
Yeah.
He's repeating I don't know, truth from the Bible, something like 25 times during this book. And when you finalize in this book, you already understand it.
Do you believe in God?
I didn't decide yet.
Okay. I think it's interesting about the Bible thing that it's like a mixture of manuscripts. Like, it's like, I personally have just not finished it, but I have read the Bible, and it's like a mixture of things. So it's like combine of things. It's like an interesting concept.
I was really shocked because I first read Bible when I was in my university, and I was doing a kind of physics course. And my professor, who was a kind of a really cool guy in physics, our main book was old book of Bible.
In physics.
He started our courses combining it with the first chapter of a Bible. I forgot how it's called in English. The first part.
Okay.
Like that is not very kind of a soft one. And he started our first lecture with Song of Ecclesiastes, where it was written, "There is nothing new under the moon." And when we multiple our knowledge, we just multiple our thoroughness. And then he explained it on the physical kind of manner. He drew a circle and told that, look, the square of the circle is the square of your knowledge. But the perimeter of the circle is your understanding of the fields that you do not understand. And if you increase the circle, you increase the square of your knowledge, but you also increase the perimeter of understanding how much you didn't understand.
That's a cool concept. I like that. That's a cool idea. That's a cool idea. The circle was...
And that was funny, when these guys from or mathematical physics
the square is inside of the circle, right?
Okay, and when you're increasing this square inside of the circle, you start to understand that the perimeter limits you're not understanding. It's also all that big stuff.
It's interesting.
And the bigger you understand, it's like I don't know, with languages. When you know only one language, so you do not understand the language you use. When you learn second, third, fourth languages, you start to understand your native language from absolutely different perspective.
Would you say your business is successful? Do you think it's successful? How would you answer that?
I think yes.
How do you feel about that? Is it cool? How is it?
Yep.
I think like and like I can talk about me personally. Like, I'm also trying to create a business that is also successful. And I think the always when you do it something, it's like the next ladder just jumps ahead. I can remember clearly I was like, I want to make 10K per month as my business. I'm like 10K. Then it was like 100K. And then that's like be amazing. And then you do the 100K and they're like, shit, it's nothing, brother. I need to do like 1 million a month.
It's always when we sold when we did a management buyout, I was super enthusiastic. I thought, oh gosh, I'm the owner of the company I was working for. And when we sold company, it was absolutely different experience, and I started to think, what will be the next step?
Right.
And this kind of growing thirsty of business, of challenges, of achievements, it's always pushing us up.
Right.
And for me, it's critical to understand that what I'm doing is successful.
And if it would not be, how would you feel?
I think I will. No, I know I will feel depressed.
Right.
Yeah.
I like this quote from Marcus Aurelius. I don't know the specific quote, but the idea was you shouldn't be fearful of the things that never belonged to you in the first place. And the idea is like all of the things we buy, get, for example, I guess the office, we buy office, we buy a house. It's actually like in when we die, somebody else is going to have it as his own.
Yeah.
And the stuff we have right now also was maybe sometimes it was some other person's stuff. Like let's say an apartment. You buy an apartment, it's like
No, it's like possessions. You
Yeah,
want to
like
say. If
possession.
you buy possessions, someone did it. Someone will own it after you go away. You pass away.
yeah, exactly.
Yep.
And it's so interesting.
But when you're doing a business, it's a bit different. It's
But
not.
but
It's
you're-
not a position. Yep.
It's not a position, but you associate as a position.
Yes,
It's
and
like
no.
the same
Yeah,
thing,
yeah.
right? Like you are fearful of losing it.
Yeah.
Because you associate. I'm also like I associate it with myself, right? It's like me.
Yep. Oh, this is
Yeah.
a personal attitude, personal approach.
Right.
In the big corporations, you don't feel that. You don't have that. It's always problematic
Because
to
it grew
have
outside
it.
of that
Yeah,
person,
Yeah,
right?
yeah. And it's also a problem for, I think, business owners because they treat this business as its own, maybe even as a kid. Yep. So, but when you start to build the team, you shouldn't transform your expectations to this team. Because if people work in your business and it's not their business, they will never treat it as their own business. Yep, and you should be ready. Of course, it doesn't mean that you should
Let them be
employ
lazy.
assholes, yeah?
Or lazy.
Or lazy.
Or lazy, yeah.
Yeah, but the problem is when I saw a lot of businesses when founders were changing teams contemporary. Yep.
Yeah.
Always changing the team, and it was blocking the business from growing. Yep. Because you won't find people unless they are partners and work with you inside of this business. Yep. That their attitude will be the same like yours. And this was a kind of a challenge for me as well to train myself to receive this feedback and receive such an attitude as a normal and to get used how to work with people when my role and position changed. Yeah.
Right. Interesting. What would be your last nugget of wisdom you would love to share with anybody who is listening or watching this episode so their life could be better?
Believe in what you are doing and try to do what you are doing better each day, each time, and you will be successful. That's it. Very simple.
That's very good. So thank you for coming today. We
Thank you very
have cemented ourselves in the internet history right now with this
I
episode.
hope.
No, of course.
I'm sure.
It's gonna be online. It's gonna be available to everybody.
Thank you very much. It was a real pleasure to talk
Cool.
with you, to visit your office.
Yeah, nice. That's a wrap. Let's go. Cool.
Thank you.
Forget about it. Okay. Before the wrap, we have a cool present for you.
Oh,
This is like our cool mug, which you can drink some cool stuff.
Stay
and
sharp,
then we have
make
something.
move.
Then we have something cool. We don't show this, but this is something in
Oh, okay.
liquid format.
I can put it in the mug.
Yes, it's
And
you can put
pretend
it in
that I'm drinking coffee or
Yes,
tea.
exactly.
I will try to do that.
Nice.
Thanks a lot.
Cool.